eyes wide open, stock trading, eyes wide open, stock trading. We are the monthly chart of Puma Biotechnology Incorporation. This is Russell 1000 components. The epic is Papa Bravo Yankee India, PBYI. And on the monthly chart, we see this tall candlestick bar. All right. When we see a tall candlestick bar, this is a distortion to a certain degree. We will highlight the closing price, the media line, and the opening price of that tall candle. All right, here it is, the closing price, the media line, and the opening price of that tall candle. You can see that after the distortion, the tall candle is a distortion to a certain degree because the normal price progression to the upside is a diagonal price progression. Here we see a vertical price progression. This is a distortion to a certain degree. So once we recognize that we have a tall candlestick bar or a vertical price progression, all right, we will expect a kind of correction. But usually we will highlight the high, or we will highlight, okay, the closing price, the median line, and the opening price of that candlestick bar. The reason is when the correction, begins, the correction may stop at the closing price, and if the bearish momentum continue, it may stop, okay, at the median line. But if the bearish momentum is strong, the price will come all the way to the opening price of the tall candle. So as you can see here, after the vertical price move, this is a distortion to a certain degree on this monthly chart. The price slowly but gradually, you can see after the vertical move, it just come down 1, 2, 3 and cancel, okay, this price action because it was a true distortion. Therefore, the market has cancelled it. All right. So what do we need to do now? Okay, you can see that the price now below the opening price of this tall candlestick bar. All right, the level of 6464. That's the opening price of this tall candlestick bar. So at this point in time, what can we say to stock traders? We will say to stock traders that are trading Puma Biotechnology Incorporation that one will only give priority bullish signal above the level of 6464, which is the opening price. Okay, so priority bullish signal above 6464 price level, and priority bearish signal below 6464. So what do I mean? So what we are expecting, if it goes to be bearish, the price will rally up. So there's a high chance that this stock will now slowly but gradually rally up to 6464. And if it fails to find a support, if it fails to break above 6464, it will find a resistance there and start going down. If we see a bearish candle in this zone, price coming down with one candlestick bar on this monthly chart, we will now implement a tall down trading method to sell it down. In my view, that is not likely to take place. In my view, there is a high chance the price will break above the level of 6464 and we try to retest that level. So at this point in time, when we see that price breaks above the level of 6464 and find a support, we will implement a top-down trading method to buy this stock, Puma Biotechnology, okay, Incorporation, Epic Papa Bravo Yankee India, a Russell 1000, okay, component. All right. So because we are a monthly chart for swing traders, we'll use the monthly chart. If it breaks above and retests here, that will be a bullish trading setup. If it rally up to the 6464 and start changing direction with a bearish candle, that will constitute a bearish trading setup. We'll use the monthly chart for the trading setup, the daily chart for the trading signal, and the hourly chart for the entry. We can zoom into the entry point all the way down to the 3-minute time frame. It makes sense? So priority to bullish signal above 6464 and priority to bearish signal below 6464. So you may be wondering, George, why? That's a very good question. The reason is, one thing you need to understand when you are trading stock, as you see this tall candle here, you need to understand that the smart money does not buy anywhere, anyhow. So they have bought this stock at a specific price, and now we know that that specific price is 6464. That's why from that point onward, from the opening price, the price rallied up from the level of 6464 and went up all the way to more than to the zone of $279. So there was a huge orders here to buy this stock at 6464. So as the price now below that level, if the fundamentals are solid, if the economy news, okay, is helping this stock, if, all right, the fundamentals are solid and the market sentiment towards this stock is bullish, as soon as the price goes above this level of 6464, there is a high chance that the smart money, if the fundamentals are solid, they will start buying this stock again at that specific price, 6464. Remember that they bought it here at 6464. The price D below it now. So if the price goes above that 6464, retest it, that will be a bullish trading setup, alerting us that the smart money is buying again this stock. But we will not just buy straight away. We will implement a top-down trading method. The strategy that we are discussing here, talking about eyes wide open stock trading, all right, is valid on any time frame. So you see this on a daily chart, weekly chart, all right, hourly chart, 2 hours chart, okay. You will highlight the closing price, the median line, and the, all right, and the opening price of the bullish tall candle, okay. All right, so once the correction begins, the price may find a support at the closing price. If it fell to, you see here, it come down, you see this candle here, it was trying to change direction here, it fell. Now, if it fell, in the next, if it start going, so you see it fell here, D below it, try, you see here, what's happening here? So it fell to find support after this, okay, doji. A doji was followed by a bearish candle. Normally, the bullish candlestick pattern is a doji plus a bullish candle. Here we have a doji and a bearish candlestick pattern, a bearish candlestick bar. So therefore, we have a bearish trading setup. You need to understand that. So normally, pay attention. When we have a doji, this is when we have is this a doji? This is not a doji. This one is doji here. And this is a hammer. When we have a hammer and a bullish candlestick bar, that constitutes a bullish candlestick, okay, pattern. All right. Now we have a hammer and a bearish candlestick bar is a bearish trading setup. But once again, we'll implement a top-down trading method to trade it. We traded it here. The price went down. As the price breaks below, you see here, it breaks below the closing price. If we want to sell it, we want to break below, retest, you see here. But what it did, it went back above it. So we'll be saying, well, it's going to go up again. But as I told you all the time, be ready to buy and be ready to sell. But it went back above it only to come back down. All right. So as it came back down again, because you see, normally it breaks below, retest, you stop here. You see, after this candle here, we'll implement a top-down trading method. If the signal fell, we are out. Here it is. It went back up. Signal fell. Now it came back down again. Now the market wanted to retest. You see this candle here? It tried to retest it again. So they push it near that closing price and they sold it. This candle was bullish, but the following candle was bearish. So if you sell it at the closing price, you will take profit at the median line. If it did below the median line, we will prefer it to go back and retest it. You see this candle here was trying to go back and retest it, but it didn't. It just went down all the way to the closing price, canceling the tall candle, confirming to us now that these two candles, tall candlestick bar, are true, okay, distortions, therefore has been cancelled. Now the price went further down. I think this is a bit of exaggeration here. Therefore, if the price return back above the level of 6464 and retest it, we will give priority to bullish signal above 6464 and priority to bearish signal below a 6464. Why? Because the smart money has bought this stock at a specific price, 6464. This is about eyes wide open stock trading. If you have any comment, any suggestion, put in the comment section, and in due course, I will record another video to answer your specific question. We are the TSTW24 traders talking about eyes wide open stock trading. Happy trading to you all, and speak to you soon.